Hi there, I'm going to make a Hawaiian flower for you. FMM cutters, 3 different sizes. I'm going to go and use the middle one. Bit of petal paste, coloured with some sugar fleur fuchsia. Make it into a patty shape. And what we're aiming for first is to get what we call a Mexican hi-hat. So you roll from the centre out to create a little bump in the middle. Just keep rolling till you've got a bump, and then you can pinch it up, make a little sombrero. The other way of doing that is to use one of these, which again you make your little patty, flatten it out, roll it into one of the holes, and you've got your little bump again. You still need to roll out a bit thinner though, because that doesn't come out quite thin enough. So just keep rolling from the centre, avoiding that little bump. And again, pinch. Another sombrero. Okay, once your sombrero is ready, cutter over the middle, give it a little wiggle. Now if you can, try and pick it up and either rub over with your rolling pin or use finger or thumb, and it just kind of gives those edges a little bit better definition. That's your flower shape done. Next thing we need is one of these, which is a petal veiner. This is an FMM one, top and bottom. And again, this has got one of these little bumps in the middle. So put your flower bump on top of the petal veiner bump. Just push it down gently. And then push all around the edges, and that will create your veins. I've dusted this with a little bit of corn flour, and it helps to get the flour off easily. Don't worry if it makes your flour a bit dusty, that's fine. Obviously the edges of this size are a bit bigger than the size of the veiner, and all you do is just take those blank edges of your petals and just press them on so that the entire flower is nicely veined. It's looking good. Next step, back onto your mat. Bit of foam mat, and I've got a ball tool. Using a slightly bigger end, I'm going to just gently roll over the edges of the petal just to get a bit more shape and definition into the petal there. Don't go too far down or you'll lose all your veins on the other side. There you go, and you can see already that that's starting to have a nice flowery shape. Now obviously these shapes, the flower shapes, are quite trumpety. So we need to try and make it into that trumpet shape just by pinching it with our fingers, turning it round. And if you use the thinner end of your ball tool, you can just push in gently around the edges. Try not to tear the paste along the way. There we go, you've got that nice shape flower. I dry mine in these, little bit of tin foil that I've kind of scrunched into a cup shape, and they're great for just leaving your flower in there to dry, and that's the first step done. You need to leave that flower to dry completely before we move on to colouring it and finishing it off. So once our flower's dry, which this one is, we need a little bit of dusting tint, edible tint here, dusting powder. I've gone for an orange colour to give that Hawaiian vibe, and a nice soft brush. So get some of the powder on the end of your brush and just dust in the middle, and it just gives that extra two-tone feel to the flower. And then your final part is to add some central stamens. Now obviously these flowers normally have a big long pull-out stamen on them, which you can add. I'm just going to go with some sprinkles, a bit of edible glue, and a brush, and literally I just paint in the middle of that, pick up a few of these and just sprinkle them in randomly till they all settle. Paint on a little bit more glue around the edge there so they all You want a few in the middle, but you also want a few around the outside. A few more in there. There you go. And there's your flower all finished. Nice and easy.